Could you tell us more about Wisenko and what this company actually does?
Risenko is a 70-year-old business. Well, we'll be 70 next year. I think it's proper that we say we are 70 years. We're very proud of it. Coming this far, not a lot of companies have gone beyond even 5 years, so we are very grateful to God for that. Risenko is a company that deals or trades in technical products and services. In the past, we used to do all sorts of things over the 70 years, but currently we have four main divisions, being the agri division. We import and supply chemicals to the open market farmers and cocoa board. Then there is the veterinary department or the division, bringing the old chicks, we bring you vaccines. And I proudly say we feed Ghanaians quite majority of the chicken that we bring in because we are the number one importer of birds from Holland. Then there is the industrial health and safety. We supply technical stuff in terms of safety stuff to the mines currently, but there's also markets like offshore. There is the food and beverages space. There's other industries that we do business with. And then there's the IT division, from your computers to UPS to AVRs to data centers to networking to providing other solutions. You can find us in that space as well. So it's a multi-divisional business and which sort of run in their own ways but come together as one component called Wisenko.
Well, that's quite an interesting thing because when I heard of Wisenko, I thought of Tansuman Poultry Farm there. I was like, but when I came and I saw the IT department, I was like, really? You also do IT?
So that's the interesting thing about Wisenko. Everybody knows us for one thing, or one maximum two of the four things that we do or we used to do. So it gives us some unique brand. However, in recent times, what we want to do is to open up and tell the populace what we really do end to end. But I also knew Reese for one thing before I even got to know what all other things were. And same thing as when I meet with clients or even the banks that do business with us, they even get surprised as to the other things we do. But these are all very functional and very full-fledged businesses in terms of the various divisions. So yes, we cover quite a number of things.
Alright, so how does Wisenko get involved in the chess space?
Wisenko has been supporting the Ghana Chess Society for close to 10 years. We are proud to say we do our bit to put light on chess in this country. I personally find chess, or I had a perception that chess was a complicated game or a very complex game, but with the little I've seen, it is not so. And that is what we aim to do, to throw light, one, on the game, and two, to demystify what it is. Yes, chess is more technical than what you would find in other board games, but that's also how the nature of our business is. So I think that is it's a nice marriage that we have, just to demystify what people think. You asked me that question that you thought Wisenko just does one thing, but now I'm telling you what it is, and it's the same thing with chess. We find chess a very interesting game that, when inculcated into our education system, can keep the youth or can keep the kids away from any funny activities they are up to or sitting in front of the TVs and watching things that do not help their brain development. Even with adults, keep them more occupied, let them see the real thing to life and not always be behind their phones or their TVs at all times. So yes, that is what we want to do, to put the game out there and make it more accessible to everybody.
And I believe the Ghana Chess Association came to meet you with the previous managing director. What exactly did they come to discuss with you?
So they brought me this nice piece
Yeah.
here. This is my first chess board. So I have it in the office here. Anybody who comes here makes a move.
Okay. Let me move one
Makes
piece.
a move. And that alone makes it exciting for us. So for in terms of the meeting, it went well. It was a good discussion that we had with the Chess Society and the president himself. He was here to just thank us for the support we've given to them all this while, and for the upcoming tournament, how we can support them. Basically, that's the discussion we had.
But as the new MD, like you said, you've never really been someone who's played chess. So, and I know also that you're more of a Manchester United football fan. So, when it came to you to introduce this sport to you to continue on the support, what was going through your mind at that moment?
No, honestly, when I first heard that we support chess, I asked the past MD, why chess? Why not swimming? Why not football? Why not? And he made me understand the link I created for you, that we handle very technical products and services. Chess is also seen to be that, but we need to demystify both and demystify what recent code does, demystify what chess is all about. And thanks for reminding me about Man U. I'm still bleeding, but I'll go past it. I find it as an interesting avenue to keep, for instance, the corporate bodies and keep the game going. More importantly, in terms of tournaments, I don't see it as something that we should all come to one venue. Considering the times we find ourselves in, this can be done virtually. All you need is the board, you need your camera, you need a platform like Facebook, and then broadcast live. We can organize a tournament, for instance, where institutions are playing each other, just one match a week for the whole year. At the end of the year, it's a knockout session. At the end of the year, you get to know who the winner is. And you can imagine the patronage, people watching virtually, kids watching, chess enthusiasts watching, and then the adults watching. Those who don't understand the game get to even understand what it's all about. You can have some tidbits here and there on how chess is even being played. I think there's great potential in terms of the game and what it can be done in this country, and that is why I decided to support what the ex-MD started, and I want to move it a notch higher as to making it more accessible in these times, especially using the virtual space.
Yeah. Like you said, using the virtual spaces is going to be quite an interesting prospect. But one thing that interests me is the fact that chess, many people would say chess is not a spectator sport. Do you side with those people?
Chess is a spectator sport. Now, it should be a spectator sport. Actually, now football is being played in closed stadium or stadia. There are no spectators, so no game now. You can't even say any game is a spectator sport anymore. However, it is a spectator sport. In these times, as I've previously mentioned, when you put it on virtual, when you put it on Facebook, you're getting those 1,000 views, 1,000 people watching, 2,000 people watching. These are spectators. They're only not at the venue. They are sitting in their homes watching a game. They can cheer on, they can send comments. Now you can do everything that you would have done if you had come into an enclosed space to come and watch that game. I think now is the time to even push this game much more than it used to be, and not limit it to those who come to a specific venue to come and watch it. So yes, I disagree that it's not a spectator sport. It is now.
And
Maybe in the past it wasn't, but it is now.
And what would you say recent gains from this partnership with Ghana Chess?
We want to get closer to other corporate institutions. We want to, by engaging or by coming up with this thing that I've just thought about in terms of getting corporate institutions to not support but play against each other.
Yeah.
We get to know each other. We get to know what each other is doing. We get to know what the business that each other is into and how we can work together, how we can do business together. And we are in difficult times, and nobody can work on their own. Everybody needs somebody to be able to succeed. And we need to uplift the country. Where it is now might not be the best, and it's only the corporate institutions that can do that. I feel this can do that. Imagine if, and I heard we beat Bank some time back. Imagine if there's this tournament going on for a whole year. There's publicity prior, during the event, and post the event, where it is played once a week. So ABSA plays Unilever, ADB plays Nestle, week on week. This, I think it's something that can bring some fun to the sport, and also can get these institutions to speak to each other, can create bragging rights, just like we have with the quiz these days for the schools. And this can even be brought down to schools level. I mean, if the institutions are being difficult to deal with, and I don't think they will be, they'll be happy to do this. You can do it in the schools. You can even take it down to the primary, even as low as you can. You can even take it to the very old people. I mean, there's so much endless opportunity in terms of this. So I that is why we are in it. We can see prospects, we can see something new that can be developed around chess.
And speaking of opportunities, is Recent Go interested in any other aspects of this sport in terms of chess?
For now, I wouldn't say so. Chess, we somehow are very comfortable with the chess space. It's not a new game, it's an old game, but in this country it is not fully developed. We want to hold on to that and develop it so that again we are known for doing that growth in the game. So for now we're sticking to chess, and if any other game comes up, not that readily I can think of. So it's going to be for chess alone.
And speaking about chess alone, what other, we know that you are supporting the President's Cup, are there any other aspects of the Ghana chess space that you are interested in getting into as well?
That I would leave that for the chess society. If there's any help that they think we can offer them, apart from just the sponsorship that we give, if there's any advisory role we can offer, if it's monetary, etc. So the past MD was very keen, and I mentioned that in taking chess into the schools, into basic schools, into secondary schools, into even the universities. Chess is a game that I believe opens the mind. It makes you know what move you are going to make. It makes you plan. It makes you understand that when you fall, you can still get up and be able to move on. It gives you a whole aspect in terms of, it teaches you a lesson in life. And that is what we want to do, right from as little as you can be. Imagine you understand that when you fall, you get up, you dust yourself off and you move on. Imagine that it's telling you that plan well, so that you know what your enemy is going to do, so that you outwit your enemy. Imagine all the various aspects of life. If you are taught this as early as in class 1, class 2, I think you have a mind that is fully functional when you're an adult, and you understand how to go about things when you grow up. And that is what we are keen on doing, taking it down into the schools.
Okay, so before I let you go, what exactly, could you tell us, is there anything else you'd like to add basically about chess, Recent Go, or yourself basically?
Recent Go is here to stay. We're 70, I'm hoping that when I'm leaving we're 100. I'm old 30 years, it's not a joke. But what I want to ask of other corporate institutions is to pay attention to this game. Come on board, let's take it to the schools. It's key, it's something that I think can be done. Let's make it well known, let's make it well played, and let's create some buzz around it like we have with the quiz. Let's get more people involved, because it takes the kids away from what they are used to these days, which is their phones, their tablets, their TV screens, their computer screens, and you do not know what they are even watching. I know chess has no time limit, correct me if I'm wrong. You can put a time.
You can put a time limit to it.
But it can be played for as long unless somebody wins, etc. So imagine if you occupy yourself the whole day or even just an hour and you stay away from the screen. That is something good. We've left our board games to rot and we've gone on to our screens. I know people play chess digitally, etc. But this is fun. At least for once you drop your phone, you have an interaction with the person you are speaking to or you have in front of you. You can have a decent conversation, you can have a game without even touching your screen. And so I want the corporate institutions to come on board. Let's push this game. I think there's a future for it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.